This is ITTV.
You know, many software professionals are not aware of the significant importance that software plays at Intel. Yes, our next guest would like to change that perception. They're here to talk to us about all kinds of cool things. First of all, recruiter with Intel is Valerie Scarsellato. Hello, Valerie. How are you?
Very well. How are you, Dave?
I'm doing fine. Glad to have you with us, along with the senior software engineer. And I thought to be senior, you had to be like close to retirement age or something. He's too young for that. With Intel Software and Services Group is Steve Smith. Hello, Steve.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Well, what brings you guys to Siggraph?
Well, actually, this is my first
And
time.
please don't tell me a plane.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is my first time here, but we
Us too.
Yeah,
it is.
It's very exciting for me.
Yeah.
But we're here. Intel is here on the career side, supporting the hiring of the software developers in the 3D graphics and that type of area. And we have a lot of other positions that we're looking for. So, from the careers perspective, that's what I'm doing here,
Wow.
and I'm defaulting to Steve because he has the talent that we're looking for. So we want to reach out as much as
blushing.
we can. We want to reach out as much as we can to the community, within the industry, to see if we can attract. And as you mentioned, a lot of software professionals aren't aware of all that Intel does in the software space. So.
Well, and it's interesting that you're talking about available jobs and creative people and all that sort of thing. We learned just downstairs there's a huge job fair going on at the same time here with Siggraph.
Correct.
With a lot of very creative people doing some great networking, and Intel, of course, helping to accomplish that as well. That's pretty cool.
Yes, exactly. We've had a lot of professional as well as recent college graduate level people stop by, and as well as animators and artists and that sort of thing. And although we're not specifically looking for those people, it's great to talk with them and meet with them. But yeah, mostly on the software engineering side, we're talking to people.
That's cool. Do you guys find that there are folks who think that, I love this, it's sort of a passion, but I don't know how to get into it, and I'd like to do that? That's got to really brighten your day, because here's fresh meat, in a sense. Here's some folks that are truly interested, so you can help them take the right steps.
Yeah, to some degree. We do try to do that, to direct them when they're curious, but generally it's people already involved in that space or the experience side. And, perhaps Steve can even mention how he kind of got into it. I think it's interesting since he's been here at Intel for a couple of years. A lot of people have been here for a long time. And we're trying to reach out and recruit other people, much like Steve. I'd like to hear his story of how he got into Intel.
Is that all it takes, is a couple of years and poof, you're senior?
Yeah,
or maybe
much.
a little something on the resume might have helped.
It might have, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically, I got really excited about some of the technology that Intel had coming up for graphics, and somebody I used to work with was working on some really cool stuff at Intel, and so I approached him and basically said, do you have anything for a software guy? And he was like, actually, yes, we do.
But his eyes lit up, and it's like, absolutely, because people don't generally think of Intel and software often.
Correct.
But you guys are doing so much, as you said earlier,
Yes.
Valerie, that it really plays an important role.
Yeah, I came from a purely software background before Intel, so to see a huge company like this that does such cool hardware, and to see a place for me to fit in that was very exciting.
Yeah.
And so I got on the next plane down to Oregon and interviewed, and so now I work in software enabling, so actually I go out and help third-party developers, mostly game developers, develop software to make use of our technologies.
What type of skills are you telling folks that they need to get involved as a software professional then?
So for my role, we're looking for strong technical skills, programming skills, C++, pretty good experience in C++, but also because we engage directly with developers on all levels, you need a certain amount of interpersonal skills as well. And
I'm glad you said that. I mean, really, because one of the things we talk so much about on the show these days is the whole social networking thing and the ability to communicate in more ways than just pound on your keyboard. And that's important. You really have to have the ability to do some appropriate networking, working with other software engineers at Intel, for example.
Absolutely.
And communicate your ideas and really network together. So interpersonal skills, very important. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, certainly for my role. There are a lot of opportunities within Intel for tool development, application development, standard software development roles. There's a lot of opportunities there.
Where can folks visit at Intel to really get into this and find out more about software involvement?
The Intel Software Network as well is out there, and if they just do, so I don't have to rattle off the long thing, if they just Google Intel Software Network, it'll take them right to the site.
Okay.
They can check that out. They can interact with a lot of other developers as well as people at Intel, and I'm really trying to push. I think it's an interesting perspective that we are that have that mature persona of a hardware company, but I'd like to think that the software is kind of the cool alter ego of Intel, and so that's who we'd like to attract the kind of professional to come work for Intel and software.
Excellent. The cool alter ego. I love that analogy. It really works. So you want to check out intel.com/jobs as well.
Correct.
Get more insight and see a little bit more about what Valerie and Steve are talking about. You guys were a delight to have on here at Siggraph, and I appreciate it. We'll let you get back to the show floor and back to networking and use those interpersonal skills some more.
Thanks very much, Steve.
Thank you.
It's our pleasure. Again, intel.com/jobs for more information. Of course, hit us up at intotomorrow.com anytime, and you'll get the links for all of our guests here at Siggraph. We're back with more from Los Angeles. I'm Dave Graveline. This is Into Tomorrow on the Advanced Media Network.